Hi, it's the Naked Truth Babe coming to you with a special request from a friend about magnesium. So, magnesium is my favorite mineral, and my reason for that is that my intake of magnesium and increase in that over the last 5 years has really made a difference for me in my experience of pain from menstrual cramps and just muscle tension all the way around. So for me, that's the thing that it helps me with. And I hear from people that I run into that maybe have like a uh, irregular heartbeats too fast, or migraines specifically. I've had people with any kind of cramping or headaches and things like that. They're getting relief from taking magnesium. So the question my friend Brent, who kindly asked me, was like, what do you take? So I'm going to get into that, and I'm also going to recommend other ways to get magnesium into your system, as well as some great books to learn more. It's good to get it into your system, and there's also a way to get tested to see what your body's holding on to. And I recently did that, actually it was last summer. But what I found out was that I was I was about half of what optimal was. So I didn't read the report right. I wasn't quite, I don't know what happened, but I started experiencing severe menstrual cramps again after having relief for several years. It came back and I was like, what is going on here? So I started looking back at my reports, and I realized that my level was actually about half of what it should have been. So I upped my intake orally, as well as transdermally, by soaking in it and putting it on my skin. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that and what products are the best to take, like the highest quality products to take. Now, magnesium, it helps with all kinds of things. It's going to help with decreasing muscle tension if you're constipated. That's a great way to get things moving, which is why when you take it orally, so people can only tolerate a certain amount in a capsule or a tablet, because it causes loose stools. So the idea is to take as much as you can orally that doesn't give you a loose stool, and then supplement with a soak or a topical on the skin. So I'm going to show you which ones to take orally and kind of give you an idea of what I take and what you might want to try. I'm not a doctor. I don't want to be one. I just want to be healthy. So I study healthy people and study under other optimal health professionals and research foundations to learn all this stuff. I want to give a little bit of a shout out to David Getoff of the Price Pottenger Nutrition Foundation. I've learned a lot from him over the last 5 years and continue to do so. He's an excellent resource among others, but I learned most of this from him. So magnesium glycinate is a form that tends to be pretty absorbable by most people. And this Pure Encapsulations brand is one of the best. So it's a chelate that's highly bioavailable and for sensitive individuals. Hey, that's me. So this one's great. The only challenge with this one is that you can't buy it directly from them. They only sell through practitioners, but guess who's a practitioner that's also a store pharmacy? Pharmaca. I love this store. They have 3 things I cannot get anywhere else unless I buy directly from a practitioner. So they have this Pure Encapsulations. They have my Thorn Biogest digestive enzymes, and they also have my high potency HLC probiotic, which is like really hard. You can't get it. It's the best on the market, and they got it. And they will ship to your house. They have coupons and stuff. I just got a $10 coupon from these guys, and I don't even buy that much from them. So I highly recommend Pharmaca for those things, and they have them around. So you can pop into one if one's in your hood. They're not everywhere, which is why it's nice to order from them. Another way, oh, and then the dosage. So these, you always want to look at like, what does the capsule have in it? And they're all different. So this one's got per capsule 120 milligrams. So I take about 450 milligrams per day. That seems to be the right level for me. Again, you'll have to experiment with this to see what amount your body will tolerate. I would split up the dosages as well to make sure you don't get those loose stools. So I take 1 in the morning and 2 at night. So like 1 with breakfast, excuse me, let me rephrase that. 1 with breakfast and 2 with dinner. And that way I'm spreading it out. My multivitamin also has a little bit of magnesium in it. I do drink electrolytes and I do take some trace mineral capsules too. So I'm getting a little bit of magnesium from a couple other places, but that seems to keep me in the right place. And then I also would recommend too, if you can't get a hold of this one, sometimes using a different formulation helps too with the loose stools. So the other one for backup, which I've used before also, is Now Foods magnesium citrate. And you can get this one just about anywhere. All of the health food stores have these. And I think that the dosage, 3 capsules is 400 milligrams. So that's what I do, I just split it up to make sure I'm not getting loose stools. You know, if you do and your digestive doesn't want to handle that much, the other thing to do is to get these, these are my favorite. These are these bath crystals that you don't have to use a giant bag of Epsom salts to get the amount that you can absorb during a bath or a foot soak. It's just a couple of little scoops of a little tiny cup that comes in the bucket. And they have different sizes, but I would highly recommend getting this. It is so nice to soak in this for 15, 20 minutes at least, and it's super relaxing, and then it can soak into your skin. They also make like a spray, and they have those around. I don't enjoy that as much as this, but in a pinch, that can help as well as the spray. Hopefully this is helpful ways to get magnesium into your system. And then there's a couple of books. That's not it. The Magnesium Factor. This is a great book. I highly recommend it, and it gives you some really good information on this one simple nutrient that is responsible for over 500 different chemical processes in your system and how it can foul things up when you really have it low. How do we get low magnesium anyways? Good question. Well, there's a lot of things that can leach minerals out of your body, drinking acidic drinks, eating white flours and other kinds of the salts that we do. It tends to leach a lot of minerals out of our bones and our bodies to counteract the acidity and some of the things that are going in. And we're just not getting the same amount of nutrition from the foods we eat. Our soils are depleted, and the food just isn't as healthy unless you're getting it wild from a place that hasn't been compromised, which is pretty difficult to do. At least for me it is. So another book that I picked up, which I really like, is this Magnesium Miracle. This book is great, and it has all kinds of information about different issues people have, and it's great to get one of these books and just educate yourself about what your own needs are. But like anyone in your family or friends, please share this information. It's really valuable. I met a nurse last year who has been suffering for almost 10 years with severe migraines, and I know a lot of people who do, and all she really needed was magnesium. When she found out, she was super mad because she's a nurse and she's tried everything under the sun except for this missing mineral. Yikes. Another thing I wanted to recommend is to check out getting tested after you've supplemented for at least 4 or 5 months. Then you can test. I wouldn't test before that because it's kind of a waste of the money to test. However, after you've been taking like your vitamin D, and maybe you've been taking some cod liver oil, and maybe you've been detoxing, and maybe you're taking this magnesium, they have some really great tests here. And this is how I found out that they have a magnesium one. They've got vitamin D, omega-3. They also have a test for elements. So if you have high metals and things like that. So I did a test last year after I'd been supplementing, and I found out that I was pretty low. And that's why my menstrual cramps came back severe, really bad. And it took me about 5 months to get them to calm down by taking an increased amount. So it can take that long for a mineral to build up in your system. So don't think it's like a pill, a drug. It doesn't work the same with minerals and vitamins. You have to build them up over time, and then 3 to 5 months is when you usually start seeing a difference with taking this, which is why getting a test right away doesn't really make sense. just going to confirm that, yeah, you don't have any. You already know that if you're not taking it, if you're having a problem. So these are great tests. This is the one I did. It's not too expensive. You just do the thing at home and you can send it in. And these guys are located in, I think they're in Encinitas, California. Yeah, they are. So that's cool. And I like the project that they're doing. So they're doing a research study, actually, a couple of them. So the data that they collect, if you're willing to provide it, helps them with their research. Check it out. So again, I want to thank my friend Brent for asking the question. I want to thank David Getoff at the Price Pottenger Nutrition Foundation for teaching me a lot of this, and some of these other organizations like the Grassroots Health, like the Vitamin D Council, like these wonderful people who write these books, and the companies that make high quality supplements so that we can get ourselves back to optimal. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps you. If you have any other questions that I can answer, hopefully, please post them and share this with a friend, especially if any of the things I mentioned are something they're struggling with. It might be an easy fix for them. And take care. As always, the Naked Truth Babe here. Take your health into your own hands. Your life depends on it. Until next time.